Alright, it should be recording. Can I see that? I see the file. Let's get going. And Going Medieval, it's early access. It's still in early access. Keys provided by Tinsley PR for the Irregular Corporation. There's been no news this week. So I don't have any of that. Well, I can talk about one thing. I mean, I did see this, but it's like, it's not worth doing a Friday write-up thing on that. Just on that. GOG does have another giveaway. This should actually be the final one, I think. Is it? The GOG sale ends January 4th. But they have one last giveaway here. Once this finishes loading, I will... I'll check the email, check the press release. And don't worry, I know it's going... There. Because it's a large map, it can do that. Yeah. Hang on. You can claim the game until Monday, January 1st. Yeah, South of the Circle, by the way, is the name of it. Okay. Well, they'd have to start another, because their sale does end on January 4th. They'd have to start another on January 1st, the moment this one ends, to do another, because they do them for 72 hours. So I don't think that's going to happen. This is probably the last. I could easily be wrong. I just suspect that it will be the last one. Okay, and we did get into spring. Oh, okay. What is... Oh, yeah. So it's just the... We need wood. Yes. And by the way, for anyone wondering why it is I haven't just gotten rid of these zones, it's because in theory, once these hit mature, they will automatically be set to be chopped down. And I do consider that desirable. As I've been saying, they really should have a thing where you can just say, everything mature, everything dead, cut it down. Why do we just have a... You know what? Yeah, let's try it. Alright. I'm not really sure what more I got to talk about. Since, as I said, it is, wasn't any news. Well, I looked through reviews last week. Really? I thought I needed that. There it is. Oh, yeah, I do. There's a hole there. Okay. Yeah, it's complaining because of this. I'm pretty sure that was the right one. Yep. There. I don't actually know if I'm going to use this additional floor, but that is one thing that I don't think... Yeah, you wouldn't be able to put a floor underneath a roof and then, like, push things up. I'm sorry, it just is one of those things where it's like, nah, some of this stuff should be more easily achieved than it indicates. Why has this stuff never been picked up? What the heck? I mean, is that just old? Is it that old? So yeah, I know I want to build this... Oh wait, no, that's right. Yes, I do want to build this up, but it's a little different than just that. Like, I want to get rid of that building there and rebuild in the area. Yeah, I know, you're talking about the dog. So I don't know what all I can do about that. I just had a funny thought into my mind. I wonder if it would work. I don't remember. What is it that gives the hay? Is it barley? The heck? What? What the hell is the hand for? Like, I don't know what that means. And also, damn it, polecats can't get down here. That's flax. Actually, hang on just. Yeah, barley produces hay. It just isn't like. Oh wait, no, that's right. I remember now. It's select here, and you have to scroll down to see the yields. That's right. I know. Super intuitive that. Okay. Alright, well. You want to play it that way? You got it. Actually, hang on. Down there, too. I feel like it seems like the dog is just being ignored. Yeah, you know, I don't even know what it is you're doing. But I don't care. I'm telling you what to do. Yeah, no, the dog may end up just dying. Wait. Okay, the dog came in here. Oh, that's good. But I mean, it's like, I don't know. I don't have anything I can feed it. And I don't know why. I guess one thing I might be able to do. Oh wait, no, I can set it in here. I'm just slaughter one of these. I mean, in theory, the dog should be able to eat meat. There's no indication it will, but in theory, it should be able to. Yeah. Where did the dog go? Oh, okay. Okay, what the hell's the dog doing? Oh, okay. Lovely. See? It's chopping some of these down just because they are now the right age. So is that. Alright, so perfect. This one I can get rid of. Then get rid of that one, then I'll start deconstructing this. Good. I do want the material to be low. Intensity, I mean. In fact, they can just be off. Wait, seriously? There. Oh, it ran out of stone, I'll bet. Well, I got more here. Along with iron. Is that? Yeah, that is coal. I mean, nothing else. It's just annoying that they're not being moved faster. And what is... Okay, it's just rocky soil. Got it. What? I'm very confused. I know I have an apple sapling. At least one. Yeah, I get 4 apple saplings. It's just not being put in. Wait. Oh, no, no, no. That's right. No, that was actually intentional. Because I didn't want them put in winter. Good. These are built. There. Oh yeah, and I also should put in light. That actually works out perfectly. I didn't realize it would work out quite like that. There. Oh hey, we got fish. So much rocky soil. Interesting. A little bit of snow still left there. that's right. Yes. Alright. Now, the funny thing is, I actually do want to use stone for this if I can. So actually, it's... I kind of like that idea. I'm just thinking I can have like an inner structure here, but an out structure here where I extend like flooring over, or just a roof over, to have these things covered, but still outside. Could work. There. I'm just trying to think, what all else can I talk about? I mean, I guess... How are any of those decomposing? So it's just... Do this. You're supposed to be. That's... Oh. That's why. Alright. Anyway, but no, one thing I was thinking of is maybe I could try, damn. Polecats don't care. Where is it? Ah, here. Yeah, that's what I thought. See, I mean, it's... I was just thinking I could talk about some of the changes I'd like to see. That would be among them. And it's like, yeah, you can't build a new fence. That's actually not a thing. Well, you can't replace a fence. You need to take it out and put a new one in, which takes so much time, and it lets the animals escape. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And these are also by 7. Okay. That should do it. Actually, wait. No. Don't do it. There. And by the way, I do kind of remember that polecats can swim. Alright. Yeah, okay. Because that'll help me get to there. And some of this other stuff. Although, I do like that idea. Putting a pause on these. Oh, good. I can finally cut that one down. Is that a wolf? Yes, it is. Okay. Oh, good. So same number as those. Yeah, I will get to, well... Iron ingots? Really? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's not kosher. I'm sorry, if you need iron to build that, then it should be after smelting. That's how that works. Oh, man. So the thing I was going to say that I could talk about are what are some changes I'd like to see in this. How about that? How about this being actually corrected so that things flow as they should, so you can't unlock things you won't be able to access. Just generally speaking, that's, you know, proper design. Aye. Oh, yes. I don't know what I may put in there, but it still is. I want those getting ready. Because I could also just move things over, move these guys over, and then upgrade the walls. But yeah, so that would be one thing, though. In-place upgrades. Because, I'm sorry, that is so reasonable. How did I manage that? A blueprint type system would be nice as well. So, for example, you know, it's like these things are relatively small. No. There. Actually, I just thought of that. Technically, I can't have it be this way. And now I am just thinking, there's a reason why I had to... Yeah, why I had to put those there. If I remember correctly, they were sneaking through. I can test that. To make certain. Alright. Wait, 2? Okay. So I saw I got one email, and then I looked down at the icon and said I had 2. It's like, wait, what? Oh, yeah. Oh no, they're sleeping. I was like, then I'm moving, so I thought the game was paused. No, that wasn't it. Alright. Yeah, so I just said that. I do think that it shouldn't be like, oh yeah, you have to do these in strips. It's like, no, you should be able to do this and just be able to set patterns for the tree, tree zones. Okay, so that needs to be cut down. So that can be cleared. In place replacements should also include walls, by the way, going back to that one, where you can change from wood to something else. Although it's also true that some of the stuff, it's like, why? No, I'm serious. Where it's like there's no fundamental difference between, it's like wood thermal insulation 0.8, 0.9 for clay, 8.7, 8.5. Okay, so it is saying there are differences, but they're really not that huge. And it's also, I don't know what that fully translates to even. I'm sorry, but that really is an issue as well. It's like thermal insulation of 0.8. What does that mean? It's like, hey, what was 0.8? 0.9? So it's better at insulating? So it is that after so much period of time it reduces by 0.9? I mean, by 0.9 of whatever you have? Or, I mean, what? I mean, it's basically, what are the units here? Which, I'm going to turn that off. That as well. Hopefully fishing can be improved. I'm sorry, that is super annoying. I mean, and that I think I said it after it was introduced, is annoying enough. The hell? Is annoying enough that I don't know why it is the way it is. Like, I would never, if I were doing QA for the game, I'd be like, oh yeah, the fish are nice, and you know, it's like, we see that there. So we have it. There. And I'd be like, okay, that's great now. So that means that I'm trying to match the coloring here. That, you know, that they, you know, pick it up and they then, you know, after they catch the fish, they you know, get rid of it, right? They haul it, right? No. Is it protected at all? No. Why the hell do we have this feature? I'm sorry, I would be that guy. It's like, what are you talking about? Also this, oh man, I want this. I so despise the way this is designed, the job system, that it's like, because it's just so stupid. Because I mean, it's here, it's like we have these different skills that do not map one-to-one here. I was like, some of them, like cut plants and harvest, are the same actual skill thing, but they're completely separate. You can't change the order here. I mean, it's the fact that you've got all these different things, but it's only a 5+1 priority system. Yeah, no, I think I've talked about it before. The way I would handle it is, okay. The heck? Just trying to figure out why they was suddenly slow. No, the way I would handle it is I would, you should be up, is have these be what those are. We set the priorities there, so it's like she's real good at carpentry. So I would have that be, you know, so I'd have that high. But everything that's based on carpentry then would be under that. And I'd also not have craft as just a weird single thing. Wait. Non-skilled work crafting basic items. You think bricks are basic? And the butchering table, wow, I don't think these people really... I'm sorry, but you want to... I mean, a good butcher is desired. I mean, it's like, what do you... Oh, yeah, it doesn't take any skill. What are you talking about? Because it's going to be a question of speed, ability to get the correct cuts out, so you're not, like, mixing cuts. I mean, true, that might not... If you're concerned about survival, meat is meat. I can understand that, but it's also... You know, once you get to the point where it's like, no, we can do this reliably, then it's like, all right, I want my sirloin and my... Crap, I'm trying to think what's another one. I can't think of any. But yeah, I mean, because I don't... Is T-bone an actual, like, different... But here, you know what? Diagram of cow cuts. Okay. I'm from Wisconsin. That doesn't mean I have this right. Okay, so we got... Looking at some of these, we have chuck, rib, short loin. And I'm just... Oh, actually, you know what? That'll work. From butchermagazine.com. Neck, chuck, rib, loin, sirloin, rump, round, shank, flank, plate, shin, and brisket. All different cuts. And it's like the neck, chuck, and rib are all next to each other. The chuck looks like it's basically the forward shoulders. Rib is behind that. Neck is in front, obviously. The loin is behind the rib. Sirloin behind the loin. Rump is, well, wait, expect, and the round is below it. So that would be not exactly shoulders, but like the pelvis for the rear legs. And then the shank is on the legs. Flank is in front. The plate would be directly under the rib. So flank is underneath loin and sirloin. Shin and brisket, then. Shin is like the... I guess it would correspond to like our forearms or biceps, but for the front legs. And then brisket is underneath the chuck, but it's actually on the body, not on the legs. It's like, you know, I get the whole meat is meat, as I said, but it's like if you get to the point where it's like, well, I want chuck versus rib, or rib versus chuck, you know, however you put it, however you want it, it's like, yeah, you want a good butcher. Man, I never actually noticed that before. This is really stupid. Plus, it is also, there's speed, and there's also some of them are just, you know, they do screw it up. You can also screw up brick making. I was like, stonemasons, I mean, true, it's only being used for making the limestone brick, but it's still, I'm just like, that is really actually insulting. And these are the kilns, right? Yeah, I mean, oh yeah, you can absolutely screw things up with that. Like, if you don't make sure that the clay is dry enough when you put it in the kiln, that will break. Then the moisture can cause it to break when you put it in. Especially because this would be a kiln. I could believe if you just sun-baked bricks, that would... The moisture evaporating would be slow enough that it might not break, it might not crack the brick as much. I can believe that. But it's like, that is not unskilled. An icebox, okay, maybe, because in theory you're just putting water in, although getting the ice out, because that's going to fill whatever void you put it in. So you need to chisel that out, and you would want to be skilled so you're not destroying it when removing the ice. It's like, you want one large block, not multiple small ones. Because it's the surface where the heat comes in and also the cold goes out. But basically, the rate of melt will be determined by the surface area. The length of melt, so the total time the ice block will survive, is determined by the volume. If you have multiple small pieces, that means it will melt very quickly. Well, the rate of melt will be high, and the length of time the ice block exists is low. But if you're doing food storage, I would think your preference would be very long length to the life of the block, but it can be slow, that it melts relatively slow, so low surface area, high volume, because you can just have multiple of them. Because it's like, if you're doing food storage, that would be potentially on this kind of scale. Yeah, that just makes the most sense to me. Wow, I really have not paid too much attention to some of this. Blacksmith's forge, smelting furnace, armor stable. Yeah, those are fair. Carpentry, yeah. I mean, but carpentry should also... construction should be determined by that as well. Yeah, I mean, it's like that absolutely should be there. And it's also, look at this. Animal handling. It's like, yeah, we got... But then we have animal husbandry. I was like, what does this actually relate to over here? It doesn't tell you. You have to look at these. This marksman... I mean, technically animal handling could also be under there. It's like grow and harvest are both under botany. Doesn't tell you that here. Yeah, mining is mining and digging, but what... That's... You have a mining skill, right? But it is still... I would have these be the things. I also wouldn't have it broken up like this. Like, I would have a combat thing that handles both marksman and melee. Those would be underneath. And I know I've gone through these before. I'm just trying to remember. Smithing. Yeah, I guess I would have like a main construction then underneath that. Mining, smithing, carpentry. Yeah, mining, smithing, and carpentry. And then it's like the person's just specialized in them. But it's like that way you can say, hey, it's like construction is a top level thing. But within construction, I want to focus on this, I want to focus on that. Just realized that those were wrong. Yeah, I mean, it's... What? Hold on. Wait. Oh my god. Do you see what that says there? Better at making bricks for construction. But bricks... stonemason's bench, which is how you make bricks, is unskilled. But it is described as being connected to a skill. Oh my god. See, this is another thing. Oh my god. I hadn't noticed this before. Because this is... Okay. You need a pedantic asshole in QA. I was that guy. When I did QA for 10 years, I would be that guy. Where I would read through with this stuff and notice the spelling mistakes and notice the things like this. You need that guy on your QA team. You always need one, okay? And he at times will annoy the hell out of you. But you also understand, like for me, I enjoyed annoying the hell out of people with that stuff because like, no, you do need to get this right. It's like, I know you have other things you want to do. You need to get this right though. You cannot be like, oh, but that's just a small detail. It's like, it's going to confuse people. The last thing you want is to confuse people. You could have mechanics not necessarily working that well, but if they all, like they can be buggy, but if they don't confuse people in how they're supposed to be working, that's better, because then you can fix them and get them there. But if you have perfectly engineered mechanics, like, you should be praised. The developers that put them in there should be praised. But no one has any fucking clue what they do because you don't describe them clearly and coherently. Then it doesn't matter. It's kind of that whole... Well, no, it's a little bit different. But it's not totally dissimilar sentiment to... If you launch a buggy game that sets the impression, it's better to delay a game that will be good... crap, I don't remember what the quote is. But basically the thing that... Why do some games get... Well, why should a developer delay a game? Because it's better for a game to be delayed and come out good than for it to come out on time and be crap. Because if it comes out crap and buggy, people don't care. The impression is set and they're not coming back to it. I mean, it can happen though, because I'm just thinking, because it entered my mind Starfield, um, which I haven't played yet. I do have a copy. I haven't played it, which also reminds me the Framework 16 laptop. Clearly, it's not coming out in Q4, but they also just revealed that they found another. Actually, this is a significant issue, because they found on some of their test builds. That's a mature. Oh, it's stunted. Okay. They found on some of their test builds that the CPU thermals weren't right. They figured out some of it had to do with the liquid metal, because that's what they're using for the thermal interface, so they're adjusting that. But they also found that somehow some of the heat sinks are not up to spec. And the way it described it in the email was like, we don't even know how. Like, the thermal resistance is different. We're not sure what's going on here. That will delay things shipping. Yeah. If they can't figure that one out. And I know where I came from. I just don't remember how I got to that one specifically. I guess I was just remembering about delays. But oh no. With Starfield, that's right. I got a copy of Starfield because I pre-ordered that, which included I did order the discrete GPU, and that got me that reward. And I have redeemed it. I've just not used anything on it yet. But I've been seeing people talk about how it's a boring game. It's like, I think I talked about it a week or two ago, how the modders working on making a multiplayer mod for it were like, it's kind of surprising how well that works. We're like, yeah, I've been working on this, and then I actually played the game and found it boring. I'm not working on the multiplayer mod anymore. It's like, that's not going to change. I'm dead serious. That is simply not going to change. Which does kind of suck, but it is what it is. What are you doing? No, you're hauling that first. But then I did remember that No Man's Sky, when that came out, for one thing, people were pissed at it because it didn't quite live up to its hype, which happens. I mean, lots of games that can be said of. Why are these not getting built? They are, but very slowly. I'm gonna do that for the moment. Well, actually, holy crap! There's a look at all that. That's actually shocking. Anyway, No Man's Sky did turn it around some, but it didn't have an easy time. Yeah, that's not gonna survive. I don't know if Starfield can. I mean, sure, it is Bethesda, which that will get it some credit, but yeah, especially since it can always be that, well, the modders fixed it. It's like, yeah, but it came out bad. It's like, I don't know if that will survive. That might not be able to make a comeback. Which sucks, but I mean, it is what it is. How did that get planted there? That's... what? I'm very confused by that one. Yeah, I got plenty of birches, so that can stay there. But yeah, it is just kind of a worthy, unfortunately, question with some of that stuff is, will Starfield be able to turn it around eventually, so that I'm like, yeah, people still love Skyrim, which is kind of, I mean, it's getting old now, but people still love it. And I also just realized I never there. It's like, I can't. Well, it doesn't really trip my trigger, to be honest. I understand why it is enjoyable for some and why it is good for some, but Skyrim just isn't quite my game. I also find it kind of boring, but it's more like that's just how some open world games are for me, and Bethesda is definitely guilty of that for me. And it's very much just the hang on, let me there. I like an open world game when there can still be some direction in it. There's other things that can distract you, but like the Thieves Guild, I think is the best way to put it for Skyrim. You could basically have an entire different campaign if you wanted to by doing Thieves Guild. Right? And just ignore the main campaign. It's like, I don't think that's good game design. I don't. I mean, but that, well, let me take it back. That can be an example of good game design, but it's not what I enjoy. That's more so what I mean. I also do kind of consider not necessarily good game design, because to me, you should... You... The hell? Oh, what? Somebody should... I mean, tend is one for everyone. Why is nobody doing it? Anyway. Yeah, what do you do? Good. Yeah, it's just, for me, like, I do like how, The Witcher 3 was, where it's like, yeah, you can't really escape the main campaign in that, but you, like, it is almost always present, but there was some amazing side campaigns in that. Like, I still remember, it still stands out to me so strongly. The Bloody Baron campaign, and that when I finished that, my feeling on it was that could have been the game, and I would have been happy. That was after like 40 hours in the game for me, too. So, and it's my review for that was 150 hours of gameplay. Okay? And it's, so I had 110 more to go. 110 more hours to go in that game. But I was like, that could have been it. And I'd have been perfectly satisfied. The Bloody Baron side campaign was so good in that game. I absolutely loved it. So, yeah, and I just... Oh wait, no, that has been built. I thought... The holograms can be a little weird. But once it is built, I will move them over and take down the fencing here and put up the stonework. Because I'm assuming that that's harder for them to get through. Yeah, see, the visual change will not influence gameplay. So even though this looks sealed, if I remove that, they will be sneaking through. Because I put that in there for a reason. Like, I remember that I had to do that. I couldn't just leave it connecting that way. Anyhow, yeah, so, and with The Witcher 3, it just... That's more so what I like. And I want to say Assassin's Creed Valhalla was also like that, where I never felt that I was away from the main campaign, at least not very strongly. Not like what can happen and seems is designed to happen in various Bethesda open world games, where it's like, no, you can just, leave. Actually, that should be getting chopped down. I don't know why it's not. Yeah, and I don't really know. I mean, I haven't played Starfield yet. I don't know what it would take necessarily to turn around. Let me see. First, try and remember how it went for No Man's Sky. I think part of it was just it got some actual campaign design to it, so there was progression, which was not. I think that the case initially was a lot more just straight, go anywhere, explore. It also didn't have the multiplayer stuff as expected. Like, didn't No Man's Sky initially... there. So them first. Because one of the things was that, oh, you could explore these worlds with your friends, but I think that it didn't quite work that way. Or something. I mean, I don't remember all the issues, but no, it definitely has multiplayer now. It is that whole single seed, super seed kind of world design where, like, there are worlds that were found by me, and anyone else that comes to them will know I found them. The adding of the carriers, is that what they were called in the game? I don't remember now, but it's like that definitely was significant. So that's basically, you can have mobile bases for doing lots of different stuff, which is awesome. They will get moved over eventually. There we go. Yeah, food reserves are low. Stew is has decomposed. It's like, how's that possible? I thought I didn't have enough food. Yeah, that is also, like, legitimately such a point of annoyance for me. Hey, wow, something got butchered. I think that's... Alright, hit that one. Alright, good. So then deconstruct that, and I can, like, disassemble this. I do want to make it out of stone, though. How much? I don't have that much stone at the moment, though. Chop that down. An auto would also be really nice here, although I could see somebody doing a mod for that, where it's just if the skill is between... Wait, what? Is between 16 and 20, go to 1. If it's between 11 and 15, go to 2. And also with rules for the passion, so that's the stars on the house. Just how long have I been going? Oh, wow, almost an hour. But yeah, something to automatically fill those in. Auto training would also be so obvious and desirable. I do want it to be a multi-story building. So that was more to me. There. Yeah, you don't want to be outside. They want to be outside. Yeah, that would be a nice addition. The better fish, as I talked about. No, they don't want to cut some things down that I'm telling them they need to cut down. Okay, good, because I would have gotten a sapling out of that. Thank you. It's like, yes, just move the frickin' sapling. And you know what? This one too. Being able to identify decomposed versus decomposable things versus non-decomposable. Oh yeah, I guess you can decompose if you're in there. Search in here. Alright, good. Oh, yeah. Actually, you know what? No, we can just do it that way. Because I will also want the floor to be stone. Both of them. Because I will set up like I've been doing this one. Oh wow, did all those actually hit mature? Cool. How are they stunted? See, this is also the whole... I get the idea of stunting, but it still is. They very, very badly designed it. So trees in rows rather than clumps to avoid stunted growth due to overcrowding. It's like, yeah, but it still is. Even in a row, it doesn't really work. They will end up being... Some can still end up being stunted. Alright, I'm sure I'm not going to need it actually that big, but you know what? Let's do it anyhow. Like that. You don't want to be outside, that's fine. Alright, what else have I got? I'm gonna need to move this stuff. Actually, that stuff might be able to go there. Like, undercover, but still inside. Oh, yeah, I can't actually afford that yet. Okay, I am thinking I'm gonna have to make this bigger. I want to keep this wall where it is, though, so I might just need to move these down. Move all this stuff down. So I'm also just trying to decide what do I want to be up. Well, it's fermenting, sewing, and butchering. I want it here. And the stonemasons. Okay. Okay. I think I know how I kind of sort of want to do this. I just hope it'll work. Sure. Oh, that's a... oh, I thought that was a 2x. Alright. Doesn't matter. Still there. That... I think will actually work. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There. There. And then that can be the line. That. Yeah, I know. But it still is there. So this will be the line. I'll just need to move these over and I can build up some other things there. Yeah, that's where I'll be moving it up. Ah, damn. Those are in the way. Alright. Alright, some stations are out. Some stations can go on the second floor easily enough anyway. And windows. You know what would be kind of neat? Is if you could have like a half wall here that things can be handed through. So there. And I know I have all the materials I need for this. No, don't do that yet. Oh, you know what? That is very true. There. There. Alright, I guess that's not totally unreasonable. Nope, no. There. There. cancel that for now. There. Okay. And yeah, so I will also have a connection there so that materials can be moved in and out more easily. Wow, I suddenly have all this wood. Well, yeah, it's night, so... Okay, that is within the thing. There we go. Oh yeah, I never finished the basement to the library. Wait, what? I guess because of the sunlight? Alright, there. Those are fine to stay there. That isn't quite gonna... Yeah, let's let this get built up first. Oh wait, no, not that. Forever. Yeah, a clean your stuff up mode, well, option would also be nice, I think. Oh, and I need to put lights in here. I'm not sure how much I care if they become annoyed. Yeah, that is actually very true now, isn't it? They are going to be stunted because of this. Maybe I should try to push these down. Because I do still like the idea of trying to have an overhang over these so they are outside, but, protected. Then there was also... the smokehouse should be outside, I think. I could start actually... oh, you know, I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. There. Outside food production stuff over here, material productions, outside material production stuff over here. Like that idea. I think that's a good idea. What? Oh, yeah. There. For now, I just don't want them moving it. I want this moved down. It's 50 and 500. There. There. And need more of those, but that's fine. It's like they will get done. But yeah, you... oh, wait. What is the cutoff for stunted? Sure. Yeah. Sure. I'm sorry, it's just... we're not going to tell you about the stunting. Is there a thing here? Yes, that won't work because of that. You know, it would also make sense if there were because you do have the issue of saplings forming next to them like this, that you can just say in here, chop it all down. That'd be another good thing to have, another good addition. I mean, the game just needs such a freaking quality of life overhaul. You know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna... I'm not even bothered by that. What are you doing? No. I'm sorry, but clean up your stuff. I want to say clean up your shit. It is also, yeah, I do think that that would be a very desirable feature. I guess that is also true. Should... Because this way I could put down a wall there, have a thing stretch across, and try to put down stuff. Coverings. They're not actually low. Anyhow. Oh wow, I almost worked through the entire season. Alright, but yeah, I do need to be stopping. Because I know this is already... Yeah, it's gone on long enough. I just realized I should have gone to the main menu. Oh. So that I could see the, roadmap. Because, I mean, I don't doubt that there are plenty of things coming in this... Coming and Going Medieval that I will be happy about, but it's just, I do feel it needs such a quality of life overhaul, and some of it being a, yes, overhaul, like the job system. I mean, I get the whole, oh, but it's nice and flat. Yeah, but it's also very broad, and you don't have full control. And you don't have things clearly and obviously mapping between the jobs and the skills. I was like, what's up with the bricks? It's like, yeah, brick making is unskilled. Oh, but construction, you need to know construction to make bricks. That's nonsense. That is absolutely incoherent. Which, sorry, I'm just there cleaning that up. In Talos Principle 2, I talked about the story lacking coherence. And that's because it jumped around and dropped themes, picked up themes that weren't set up, things like that. It's like, that's a lack of coherence, because it's still kind of all fit together. It just, things didn't align, things weren't carried through as they should have been. But that thing with the bricks is incoherence, because it states one thing in one place and then contradicts it in another. That's incoherent. So to help explain that, in case anyone was confused, and I did not satisfactorily explain it when talking about in the review and during the review playthrough, what I meant by lacking coherence. That's and how that's different from incoherence. That's what I mean. Incoherence is direct contradictions. A lack of coherence is just things don't align. Things don't mesh up correctly or well. But no, with the job system, it should be based on the skills. You should also group some of the skills together and just have them be specializations, so sub-skills. Like smithing and carpentry being sub-skills of construction. Because both of those are tied to construction, very obviously. But it isn't unreasonable that well, okay, no, I will grant. Well, okay, no. It is not entirely unreasonable, and I will explain this. That in this context, somebody who's good at smithing could also be good at carpentry. Not like the sculpture kind of work, No, but like you're good with your hands. You know how to work with materials. You know how to work with tools. There's a competency there that would apply to more than one thing. So it would be appropriate for construction to have such sub-skills, such specializations, where it's like, yeah, I can build you a house, but I'm really much better as a mason. Like, you want it out of wood, I can do that, but I'm better if you want it out of stone, that kind of stuff. I could see that, and just that would so simplify so many things, because then you can say, hey, this dude is really, really good at construction. So every time, so top priority with construction. If there's a construction task, he should be doing it. But then lower down, it's like, okay, if there's multiple people, if there's like, two different people that are both really good at construction, but one is much better at masonry, one is much better at carpentry, then it's like, okay, these two should get the job, and then, okay, which of the two should get the one job? It's a carpentry job, carpenter should get it. It's like, do it like that, instead of carpentry and masonry are completely separate things. But even then, it's still, masonry isn't even in there. Masonry is just like nested inside of things, and it's just, yeah, it's that should be overhauled. It should be directly connected to skills, and then specializations underneath that, and you should be able to have the priorities also nested in that same way, where you can have construction at a top priority, but then carpentry at a lower priority within that. Because I get it is no longer flat. It would now be multi-dimensional, because it'd be the skill level for a job priority, and then beneath that the specialization. I get it, but it's also, oh, and you should also nest together. You should combine together a lot of the skills, because some of the like the combat, it's like marksmanship and melee. That's both combat. Make it combat, and again, it can be the whole, as I was saying. Well, melee and marksmanship are definitely very different. But it's a video game, so it's like, we can forgive that some. But it still could be, again, somebody specializes in archery, somebody specializes in using a sword. Whatever. It's still it's not unreasonable that you would train somebody in both, though. So it is also not unreasonable that they would work together in both. I mean, you could do it that way. I get it makes it multidimensional. I get it, but it's still, right now you have such a flat, wide mess. I feel going to multidimensional like that, but narrower, where it's just, instead of it being 15 things wide, maybe it's 7 things wide, but then it's 3 under this one, 2 under that one, 4 under that. That one, well, probably not 4. Don't go to 4. 3, I think, would be enough. But you do something like that, I think that will be much more approachable. Because like, I want this dude to just do all the construction work. Perfect. You can do that instead of I want the dude to do all the construction work. Okay, so I need to set this priority high, and this priority. No, it's one priority now. And it's also because of the whole skills of what are developed by them doing this. It's like, again, it should be skill focused, not this job and skills being treated as separate things, even though they are intrinsically tied. It just, and I've been annoyed by that since, I can actually check on this. Since March 18th, 2021. That is when the preview for the game came out. And I was annoyed by it. Okay, I was. But I didn't necessarily focus a lot on it because that was the preview. And then it was June 9th when the early access review. So that was the initial early access release. I would have been still annoyed with it then, but it still would have gotten some pass from me as far as the whole, well, yeah, but it's early access. Hopefully it'll fix. Hopefully it'll get fixed. It'll be improved. And it hasn't. It has not been improved at all. Sorry. So, and that's over 2 years. That's 2.5 years since early access. And it's just, maybe this year. But that also shouldn't be the cry for people doing early access games, playing early access games and such. It shouldn't be maybe this year. It's like, no, you need to. It's kind of funny in that at the same time this entered early access, The Last Spell did, which is a game I really do enjoy. I need to spend more time in it. I want to spend more time in it, but I just don't. I get distracted with other things or have other projects I need to focus on. When that Did I get a preview of that? I don't remember, but I know I did the early access review for it, and then when it released. One thing that struck me about it, especially in the comparison, was it was mechanically sound. It didn't have much content yet. That's what they added. They added content through early access. They also did, as they got more feedback and probably got more skill at developing, improve the mechanics. They refined them, they overhauled them, and it elevated the game. This felt more like content rich, but not mechanical, not mechanics rich, and mechanics good design, well-designed mechanics. It didn't feel like that, and it still feels like that, where it's like we've got so much content, but we don't have the strong mechanics to them. Yeah, I'm actually pulling up the store page. Let me just see, because it might have the... Okay, it does have an image of the roadmap. So we've got raiding other settlements. I don't think I care. I mean, that's a multiplayer kind of thing, I think, and it's like, no, and it's also, I like peaceful. I like it being peaceful. I want to just build this up. That's the satisfaction. That's the fun for me. And also not like making multiple settlements in the same map. I mean, I could, but I don't want to separate my people like that. At least not at the moment. Fire and flammability, that scares me. I get it, but I don't think that should be a high priority. A prisoner system. I don't know. I mean, yes, if that's when you get raided, you can capture people alive and then turn them to you. I can understand that. Mounted siege weaponry. Wait, mounted siege weaponry. If it mounted as in on horses? Or like mounted on buildings? I'm not even sure what that is. Grand objectives. Okay, no, that one I will grant. That would be fine to have soon. It's not what I want, but that's fine to have soon, because kind of what I was talking about with the open world games. That's it's like, here's the specific thing you need to do. So that giving direction, no, I'm totally good with that. Religious influence, I don't care about the religion that they have in the game already, so I don't care. Natural caves? I don't know. I don't know. I think it would depend on how they implement them. Yeah. If that's combined with a structural integrity view, we can hit a thing and then see that, oh, if I dig any more in this direction, because I assume you'd use them as for mines. Oh, if you dig any more in this direction, the stability in the center is going to fall too low and it'll collapse. So you know to put a beam or something in there? That would be good. Ruins. If you can repair them and like move into them, okay. But so many other things where it's like shelves and weapon racks. Well, shelves are nice. Trading and merchants. Those come in handy when you don't have the resources you want. Caravans, that's kind of connected to the same thing. Settlement diplomacy, don't care. Map factions, don't care. Advanced cultivation, I'm not even convinced what you have now is all that advanced. So I don't know why that's checked off. Taming wildlife, okay. Animal husbandry, that would be part of taming wildlife. Settlers' social interactions, I don't really care. Accumulating snow. Not really. I mean, it's a neat visual thing, but I don't think it's like you can collect the snow up and do anything with it. I mean, you can do that in Minecraft. It's like, hey, instead of an ice block, have a snow block. It wouldn't last as long, but it would do a similar job. Organic dirt paths. If you could compact the paths, that would be nice. So it's like, instead of it just being the grass is beaten down, it's like, no, this is actually the path I want you guys to take. That'd be nice. Terraforming, that should have been in there day one. Okay, I'm sorry, but the ability to dig up the soil and put in new dirt, put in the dirt ramps, that should have been day one. Why that took so long, I don't know. Ladders, okay, no, I can understand that taking a while, but I will add, I want to see additional ladders. I don't like that it's just wood ladders. Like, give us stone ladders and clay brick ladders. That's not unreasonable. It really isn't. Or even have it be... With the brick ones, you could, in theory, have those recessed into walls. So, like, it's a wall ladder, essentially. Instead of just a ladder, like a wall ladder. That could be nice. Also, a collapsible ladder would be nice. Even, like, isn't the case in my house, but in other houses, the whole fold-down ladder to get up into the attic, something like that would be nice. And then water environments. It's... if we get to irrigation and it's handled well, I'll be happy with that. But we're not there yet. In fact, that also isn't listed. That must just be under the plus much more on this roadmap image. But irrigation, I can see it being nice. Proper moats. Something that will actually stop the polecats and such getting in. That'd be nice. Actually, yeah, just as a way to better protect against that stuff would be nice. A water wheel for processing food. Well, actually, no, I don't want that. Because right now it's basically when you pull stuff out of the, once it's ripe and you harvest it, it's set. I don't really want that to change. Because it's like, no, don't add another step there. I don't like how the system works as it is to some degree, so it's like, no, don't do that. But I mean, a mill could still be useful for other things. Like that could be used to help with stone cutting, potentially. Some smithing, potentially as well. Because, converting the mechanical power of the water, the river, to do other mechanical tasks is desirable. I get that. That would be nice. That would be a nice thing to do, but I'm just not sure how useful it would necessarily be. I mean, I so associate water wheels with like granaries and such, but I don't want them adding that complexity. I don't trust them to add it in a comfortable, approachable way. Just trying to think if there's anything else really that I can think of with water environments or just water in general. Would boats be nice to have? Actually, yes. Yes, they would. For fishing. If you could have a fishing boat, because that way they can just go out, fish, and they put it in the boat, so a wolf or fox or whatever doesn't run up and take the food. That would make sense, actually. And in theory, you could also use... Well, that would open up islands better than just people swimming back and forth. But it is also, you can then use boats for moving certain goods. I was like, that is one thing that I do think some people don't always recognize is the significance to boats and ships in history compared to caravans. Because with a ship, especially if you have a sail on there, that goes all night. It's like maybe you need, a few people awake to keep an eye on things, but it goes all night. A caravan will typically have to stop at night because the animals have to rest. And plus, ships can just carry a huge amount. But even if it was the same amount as a caravan, the fact that it will just passively navigate, passively move during the night is so huge. So having something like that in here, the only problem is that forces the scale of the game up so high, and I feel like, no, I don't really want you doing that one yet. Like, yeah, I'm not sure I trust you with it at the moment. But still, having the ability for lakes, or to go out and go fishing, or even, you know what, that actually would work. I would be fine with that. If you could have a external mission. It's like, hey, there's a lake over there. I don't have access to it, but the river flows into this lake. Go on a fishing expedition. We just put 1 or 2 people in a boat. They go out, they fish, they come back, say 2 or 3 days later with a bunch of fish. I'd be good with that. I really would be. I'm not sure what else. Oh, I just remembered one other thing, though, that you could do with water. You could do sluice boxes kind of stuff. Like cleaning. Like you can take the ores, run them through that to help clean it off, and then smelt it. That actually is totally reasonable. You could do something like that. I wonder if they will try to... I'm just thinking, would they try to do aqueducts? That one worries me a little bit. Because again, it's one of those... I mean, how would you get the water up high enough? Well, although, okay, so an aqueduct would kind of work for... Because of how I have the main food area next to the river, but below the level of the river, you could set up an aqueduct that way. That would just run over top, and then have areas where it comes down. So, like one line coming down the middle, and then just troughs going off to the specific areas, and you can control it at the top. That actually would make sense. But the problem is, I don't know how you could set up proper gravity management of water in this game. Because the difference in height from one side of the river to the other, I don't think is that great. So how would you get the pressure the way you'd need it to be? With the water wheel, you could have a water wheel hooked up with an Archimedean screw kind of thing to bring the water up, and then that would... So yeah, you could do that. So that would be possible. But that's a lot to have to put in there. Would be powerful, though. That could be really powerful. I could see people liking that. Now I'm just thinking, how do you... Yeah, you know what? That also would be nice if they were to do irrigation. Currently, one block is 3 high. Like when looking at the walls, there's 1, 3, 1. The height of those things were 3. Imagine having a step block that is a 3 by 3, but you have 3 different levels that each can hold a So basically, in the height of one wall, you have 3 levels that can be planted on. And if you have water running down, it'll go through all of them very cleanly, very nicely. That I could see being really nice. Because I'm also just thinking an issue is getting sunlight into these places. Because I would love if I could have a farm building, which would make sense with aqueducts, irrigation, because you would need some structure built up around it. So you could do something, and plus you could protect against wild animals more easily, but it's just getting the compactness in there would be so difficult. But if you did that would, because the issue is vertical compactness, really, because horizontal compactness, just you need it to be, you can't be horizontally compact because you need the sunlight coming in. So you need it just vertically, so you're not going 3 steps high, 3 walls high, you're only going like 1 high, but you get 3 slots in it. That I could see working. I really could. Because then if you want like a second row of these, you would just need to have 3 single height walls, essentially, instead of having, if each wall is 3 meters tall, let me put it like that, instead of, the next set of 3 is 3 meters off the ground, instead of having to be 9 meters off the ground, because 0, 3, 6, it would be the 3, and then 9 is, it's, that would be reasonable, I think. I think they could pull that off. As far as like in-game and making sense, I don't know about the development time, but that I could see working. Anyway, I need to stop. I've already been talking enough. But yeah, so I don't know what to expect for this coming game, because there's just too many things that annoy me. It was like, why is it this way? Why hasn't it been fixed yet? Why hasn't it been changed? But for quality of life purposes, and I get it. It's how it is. I know. I mean, remember, I did quality assurance work for video games for 10 years. Until they basically just decided to shut down the team I was on. I've seen a lot, I've done a lot. Very different game from this. But it is also the whole... I do consider it a helpful experience for doing stuff like this, because it's just... I get the whole people can throw out ideas that aren't going to be done for one reason or another. I get that. I mean, all the stuff that I talk about, all the stuff that I complain about, all this criticism I have for it, I fully acknowledge that none of it might be, even if it were heard, even if it got back to the developers, none of it might be implemented. Even if the community were to hear some of the stuff and be like, yeah, that actually would be a good idea. I understand that a lot of it won't be implemented. I don't get upset by that. That's fine. But I will criticize it when I get to reviewing the release version. I mean, that's how it goes. And hey, there's also the whole, you can always play a different game. I mean, it's like that is one, and I say that as a good thing. It's like this satisfies niches for some of its features. Those aren't necessarily the ones I'm going to be criticizing as much, because I have different, I have different itches to scratch, different niches I want filled. Other games will do that. Like, I still want to. I meant to this week, but I've been doing other things. Oh, there's actually an update for it. I've been wanting to do play some in Dyson Sphere program. That might satisfy these niches that I feel going medieval isn't satisfying. That might satisfy it much better. I don't know. I'll give it a shot at some point. I just don't know when exactly. But yeah, it's like, isn't that a wonderful thing though? I mean, it is. And I guess I should also say that, yeah, one issue with me saying, oh, it should be this way, it should be that way. I do get the whole, it's a beautiful thing having so many different games out there, so much competition, but it does also mean you don't want all games tending towards one thing. That undermines the whole concept then. I get that. I do get that. So it's like, yeah, I want these changed in there. I think they would make it better, but no, it's fair that some people say, yeah, but then it's like these other games. It's like, yeah, I can understand that, but it is still because I mean, like how some browsers have started to converge to basically be all Chrome. It's really, really annoying, especially since Google doesn't give a crap about internet standards. They help set them, but then they ignore them. But it's just, sometimes being different, it isn't enough. Yeah. I don't know. It's just, you can be different and still be of quality, and I'm not completely convinced that going medieval is fully at quality. You know what? That actually, I just thought of one good way to put it. There's a game I played, Star Drive. I purchased that. I don't remember if I reviewed that or not. I may have. I haven't played Star Drive 2. Don't own it yet. But it had one feature. Well, actually, it had more than one feature that I liked, but one in particular that stood out, that I wish other 4X games had, is you could design a fleet, and then you could just hit a button and it would build. It would just assign the building, the constructing of the ships wherever you have the facilities to fill that. And also try to optimize where it's like, yeah, we've got 3 planets that can all build them, but that one planet would do it really, really slow. So we're not going to assign to that one. We're going to assign more to this other one that's really, really fast. That was awesome. I wish other games had that. It's like, I haven't launched Galactic Civilizations 4 for quite a while, but it's like Star Drive was a one-man thing. Galactic Civilizations 4 is Stardock. Right? The very experienced developer, been around for many years. I think they're like 30 years old now or something. But it's like, I don't think it has that feature in there. I would love it to have that feature. Many things about Star Drive, though, were very similar to other games. But it's like, that is awesome. And it does disappoint me that I haven't seen it anyway. So that was different, but still, it was a quality game. I'm trying to remember. There was something specific about it that did annoy me. I can't remember what, but that was awesome. That was awesome. But no one, I know of no other game that's adopted that. And that's kind of sad. Because it is such a good feature. And it's like, is that you're converging? Where it's like, oh, now all these games are the same? Not necessarily, because it's I wish I could remember what I wrote. Talking about competition stuff. Where ideally with competition, you compete with yourself, you compete with others, but you look at what others are doing, see what you like in that, and it's like, oh, that's awesome. I'm going to take that and do it myself now. Like in video games, that is one thing. It was off of Brad Wardell, who's like one of the founders of Stardock and still the creative director and president of the company. And he was talking about how, I know I'm talking for so long. It's New Year's, it's Christmas. I'm giving you an extra length one. But he was talking about how in the games industry, it's really neat how, even though it's like, yes, this is a competitor, you'll still hang out with people at other developers, you'll talk with them, you'll be friends with them, and it's, it is, and this was months ago, so I don't remember perfectly, but essentially saying that it's really neat. It's not like you're trying to undercut somebody. It's not like you're trying to sabotage your competition. It's like, no, that you each want to do your own thing your own way, but you do pay attention to each other, support each other, but you also are like, oh, wow, that's a really neat idea. Like the fleet system in Star Drive. I'm going to start using that. It's like, that doesn't hurt anything. That's in fact good, and that's how it should work, because that's competition that elevates. And it doesn't mean that you're converging. It means because you're able to take that then and do it your own way. I'm like, think of Sins of the Solar Empire and Galactic Civilizations. Very different games. They're both 4X games, but implemented in different ways. You could do that fleet system in both and they would have different but the way they would work would be quite different. Well, yeah, because Galciv fleets are a single tile thing. You don't have them on multiple tiles. In Sins, and I've not played Sins for quite a while, I will grant, and I don't have Sins 2, which is in early access, I think, right? I don't remember where that is, as I think about it now. Is that Epic only, or is that... Yeah, I think that is Epic only at the moment. But Sins of Solar Empire Rebellion is currently on sale, 66% off on Steam. And it is a good game. It's been a while since I've played it, but it is a good game. When did that come out? Okay, Rebellion came out in 2012. Let me... I think Trinity might be the oldest I can get. That's 2010. But like Sins of a Solar Empire is technically older than that. Because Trinity was like the 3 expansions all put together. But with that, as I recall, the fleets, they did, it was more in RTS than Galciv is. It's more in RTS. So the fleets could take up space. It's like, so the fleet manager in that would actually, you could have it be big, which is actually which can be really interesting, because the idea of setting up crossfires in space make a lot of sense. And the idea that, okay, I want to move this wing up, I want to move this wing down, and things like that in combat, because there might be strategic advantages, hugely different from Galciv 4. So like the fleet manager is now not just say, I want these ships in there, and when they're destroyed, automatically build new ones, but it would be I want this fleet in with ships in these positions. I guess one way to put it is carrier groups in navies. The carrier will be at the center because it has the least armament. So you have then the battleships and such around it. It needs the most protection, but it's the one that has all the aircraft, which can devastate other fleets. I mean, let me quickly check this. Trying to remember which World War II Pacific naval battle it was. What? That was weird. This is... Okay. So Midway, it might have been Midway then. One of the battles, I don't remember which. And it may have been Midway. Actually, no. Let me just get to the story. I don't remember which battle it is specifically. But it was a huge, huge battle for World War II in naval history, warfare history, because neither fleet actually saw each other. It was completely fought over the horizon between the aircraft launched by the two fleets. But the US fleet actually wiped out the Japanese fleet and their air, while the American fleet suffered minimal losses. There were losses, but they weren't that big. I mean, like it was devastating. And it was one of those, I remember when learning about it, oh God, that would have been almost, well, more than 15 years ago, I think. Or it would have been 15 years ago. But basically, it was a naval battle that proved the carrier and just aircraft in general are part of the future of warfare. That they wouldn't. It's like it was still kind of a new thing doing that. It's like, no, these are going to be defining. And there's some people that you can talk about with boy, I can just keep talking. It's not 2 hours yet. Sure, why the hell not? How technically surface fleets are negated by nuclear weapons. Because a surface fleet, 1 or 2 nuclear bombs would, well, let's just say 1 would wipe out a surface fleet. Okay. But there are ways of answering that. Having multiple fleets. Just having enough where it's like, yeah, you're now going to have to commit how many nuclear weapons to destroy a fleet? That's, committed to those instead of other targets. So it is still advantageous to do so. You also don't necessarily know where the submarines are, which that's another thing. So, it's just, you do still change some things there, and you miss one carrier group. One carrier group can do a lot of damage if it's led correctly and has the proper equipment and such. But it just reminds me one thing with Star Wars The Last Jedi. I know this is one hell of an aside, but people criticizing it was later called the Holdo maneuver, the huge set piece where going to hyperspace obliterated a whole fleet of Star Destroyers. It's like, okay, apparently the reason the director put that in there was to try to get rid of starship battles. It's like, yeah, you have no idea what the hell you're talking about if you think that would happen. All that would mean is you now need to arrange your fleet to never have ships in such a line that maneuver would wipe them out. Which, hey, fleet management, make sure you have your big fleet. If there is a ship that can fire basically a massive round that would go through multiple ships, make sure that you don't set up your fleet such that things are always in a line. Hey, solution. Also going to many, many smaller ships would help, because now, if you do that and you have them moved out a lot, then there's no line, and even that weapon would never prove useful. I mean, it's like a Death Star is not that useful compared to a fleet of Star Destroyers. Sure, it can destroy a Star Destroyer at a time, one shot each, but a fleet of Star Destroyers can capture a system. A Death Star can intimidate a planet or destroy the planet, but at which point you also lose the benefits of that planet existing. So it's like there are trade-offs always, and it's just about designing a way to address that. And yeah, fleet management system, that'd be awesome. I would also love to see a blockade system set up. I think that would be awesome. It's like, because you not just say, oh, I have a ship nearby, that means you're a blockade. It's like, no, more ships and in certain patterns would do better at blocking other ships going in and out than just one or two. Because I also remember, I know I'm just talking. Star Wars Rebellion, I love that game. Classic 4X game. One strategy that I had is I would take these assault transports, which were very fast, cheap to make, and had weapons. I'd put I would just make a huge, like hundreds of these things, and send 2 to every single planet. Because once they arrive there, I would know the status of the planet. If it's an enemy planet, it now blockades it. And even if that planet has defenses, these things, depending, will destroy them or are fast enough to escape. I would then have another fleet go around and just pick all these up and conquer the planets as I went. It was a very powerful system. But when you think about it, it's also kind of ridiculous. We're talking about relatively small, they're just transports. They have guns on them, but they're just transports. 2 of those shouldn't blockade a planet effectively. So it's like, that strategy makes no sense that it should work. So having something there where it's like, hey, if you can manage a fleet, why not manage a blockade system? It's like, have them on polar opposites of a planet, which actually wouldn't necessarily be ideal because the equator would be the easiest to escape from. But it's like, you could do stuff there's so much you could do. And it starts with the fleet manager trying to bring it around, even though that makes no sense. But yeah, it's so many things that you really can start diving into this stuff. And I think that you could. The trick is the balancing between the micro and macro management. Because using the blockades as the example, fleet management would also be the same. You don't want to have it where, and I will try to end on this point, you don't want to have it where a player is like, I just want a fleet. I don't care how it's organized. I just want a fleet. You do need to have that system so that somebody can just be like, okay, I want to have 20 assault transports in here and 5 Star Destroyers. Okay, it's just play. Okay, you'll just have a fleet with that. And you don't need to have it where it's like 2 Star Destroyers in the center, 1 in the front, 2 in the rear, and then the assault transports forming a circumference around them. It's like, well, you can go in and do it that way, but if you don't care, you don't need to care. So you do need to have it be able to make appropriate generic placement, default placements. You would need to come up with that. And that actually I could see being part of what really makes things difficult. And same thing with the blockade, where it's like, no, just do it that way. Just evenly place them around a planet, which, in many cases would be fine. But if it's not Earth, if it's a planetary colony, then you really just need to focus. You need to focus on one place, but you should monitor all around. There is such depth that you could go into. I don't know if anyone ever has with some of these games. At least the Fleet Manager and Star Drive, it started to. It tried. And I want to see more take advantage of that. Alright, that has been more than enough of my blathering on. I should see you next week. I don't know why I wouldn't. For those of you that celebrated Christmas, I hope it was a joyous celebration for you. And hey, New Year's coming up, so Happy New Year to everyone. And I will see you in 2024.